Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast.
Oh,
Today we're going to be taking a look at CorMedix.
okay.
I know you've got some information for me about this biopharmaceutical company, and we're going to try and unpack it a little bit and see what's driving its stock performance.
Right.
And you know what it might mean for our listeners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, our mission here today is just to distill the key insights for you guys so you can get a clear picture of CorMedix without feeling overwhelmed.
I think that's a great goal.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of information to cover today.
Okay.
We've got some technical analysis, a company overview, including their recent performance and financials,
Right.
and some general points on recent news and upcoming catalysts.
Sounds good.
It looks like we've got kind of a puzzle on our hands.
Oh,
You know, there are some strong positives, but also some headwinds.
interesting.
So before we get into all that, why don't we just lay the groundwork
Okay.
and start with what CorMedix actually does?
So CorMedix is based in New Jersey,
Okay.
and it was founded in 2006.
Got it.
They're really focused on infectious and inflammatory diseases,
Correct.
and their main product is DefenCath.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's an antimicrobial catheter lock solution,
Okay.
and it's aimed at preventing bloodstream infections
Right.
in adult kidney failure patients.
Right.
So that puts them squarely in the biotech sector within healthcare.
Absolutely.
So,
So where should we start with this?
well, let's look at some of those technical indicators you were talking about.
Sure.
I know we have information on price movements, trading volume, moving averages, the 50-day and the 200-day, and the RSI.
Yes, the relative strength index.
Right.
When you're looking at a stock like CRMD,
Okay,
it's a good idea to first pay close attention to the price trends.
got it.
How is it moving relative to its recent history?
Okay,
And keep an eye out for any big jumps in trading volume,
right.
because those can often signal strong investor interest.
Makes sense.
You know, maybe they're reacting to news about the company. Now, the relationship between the stock price and those moving averages,
Yes.
the 50-day and 200-day you mentioned,
Right.
that can really tell you a lot about the overall trend.
Oh, yeah.
If you're seeing the price consistently above both of those averages,
Okay,
it could mean the stock's on an upward trajectory.
got it.
But if it's below them,
Okay,
well, that might suggest a more bearish sentiment.
makes sense. So then what about the RSI?
Ah, yes.
The
So
RSI...
it ranges from 0 to 100.
Right, good.
So how do we use that?
So that helps us gauge the momentum of the stock.
Okay.
An RSI above 70 could mean that the stock is overbought and that it might be headed for a correction.
Okay.
On the flip side, an RSI below 30 suggests that it might be oversold.
Got it. So it's kind of like a pendulum swinging back and forth.
Exactly.
Yes,
So
yeah.
putting it all together, let's say you see strong upward momentum
Okay.
coupled with rising volume.
Right.
The stock price is cruising above both moving averages.
Got it.
And the RSI is sitting comfortably between, say, 40 and 60.
Well, that kind of scenario might signal a good buying opportunity.
Interesting.
Now, on the other hand, if you're noticing declining prices with high volume
Okay.
and the price has dipped below those moving averages,
Right.
and to top it off, the RSI is down below 30, that could be a sign that it's better to wait for a recovery.
Okay.
And of course, if you see mixed signals,
Yeah.
it might be best to just hold your current positions.
Got it.
And one more thing to keep in mind,
Okay.
with a stock as volatile as CRMD,
Yeah.
the RSI might swing around a lot more than it would for a less volatile stock.
Right.
So it's important to look at those broader trends.
Okay, so it's not just about one single data point.
Exactly.
Got it. So now let's take a look at CorMedix's recent performance. Over the
Okay.
past year, the stock has seen some pretty substantial growth,
Yes, it has.
around 178% actually.
Yeah, quite a jump.
Yeah, and that includes about a 27% gain in just the last 6 months,
Right.
and a smaller increase of about 2.16% in the past month. This seems to suggest that there's strong long-term investor interest,
I would agree with that.
and that's probably tied to the launch of DefenCath.
Yeah, most likely.
But here's where it gets a little interesting.
Okay.
On March 25th of this year,
Okay.
the stock actually dropped by roughly 27% in pre-market trading.
Wow.
And this happened despite the company reporting its first profitable quarter,
Oh, that is interesting.
with earnings per share of $0.22.
So how do we make sense of that?
Right, it seems like a contradiction.
It does.
But from what we've gathered, this drop was due to concerns about future guidance and the overall market conditions.
So even with positive earnings,
Yeah.
the market can react negatively.
Absolutely.
If there are concerns about the future.
Right. It really highlights how unpredictable the market can be.
It definitely does.
Even when there's seemingly positive news.
Especially in the biotech sector.
Right.
The market tends to look beyond just a single profitable quarter.
Makes sense.
Particularly after a big product launch.
Yeah.
Investors often focus more on the long-term trajectory.
Okay.
And whether that profitability is sustainable.
Got it.
They might be worried about pricing pressures or competition down the line.
Right. And all of that can weigh on the stock price.
Exactly.
So it's a good reminder that we need to look at the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
And speaking of volatility,
yeah,
CorMedix is a pretty volatile stock.
It is.
It has a beta of 1.53.
Which means?
Which means it's more volatile than the broader market.
Right. And we've seen some pretty significant price swings.
Weekly swings have been averaging around 12%.
So that's something investors should definitely keep in mind.
Yeah, particularly if you're not comfortable with big fluctuations.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to the financials.
Okay.
Their latest report, which covers the full year 2024, ending December 31st,
right,
shows revenue of $43.5 million.
Okay.
With a whopping $31.2 million of that coming in the fourth quarter alone.
That's a strong finish to the year.
It is, and they reported a net income of $13.5 million in that fourth quarter,
right,
which resulted in those earnings per share of $0.22 that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Now, it's also worth noting that they have a debt-to-equity ratio of 0.
That's impressive.
Which suggests that they have a pretty strong balance sheet.
It does. They're not carrying any long-term debt.
Exactly. Their gross profit margin is also quite impressive.
So
it's at 83%.
Wow, that's really high.
However, their full-year net profit margin was negative 376%.
Negative. How is that possible with a profitable quarter?
It does seem counterintuitive.
Oh, it does.
But it's primarily because of the high operating expenses related to launching DefenCath.
So their marketing efforts have been costly.
They have. But the takeaway here is that while sales are now strong and profitable, the cost to generate those sales has been substantial.
Interesting.
Basically, they had a really strong fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But the losses earlier in the year, potentially from things like research and development or pre-launch marketing, those drag down the full year net profit margin.
So it's important to look at the entire year.
Absolutely, and not just a single quarter.
Got it.
So let's recap some of the strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
The successful launch of DefenCath and the growing sales are definitely strengths.
I'd say so. It shows there's a market for their product.
Exactly. And that first profitable quarter is a big milestone.
For sure.
But we can't ignore that sharp drop in the stock price.
Right. That's a red flag.
After the earnings report.
It seems like investors are worried about something.
Yeah, they seem concerned about the sustainability of those profits.
And they're probably anticipating that net price erosion
that
you mentioned earlier.
Right. That's expected to start mid-year.
And that could have a negative impact on future revenue.
Exactly. And that's likely why the stock dropped so suddenly.
Makes sense.
So what's the overall market sentiment like right now?
Well, it seems pretty mixed, to be honest.
Oh.
Analysts have actually revised their earnings estimates upward after those positive results.
So that's good.
Yeah, but they're still cautious about future pricing pressures.
Okay, so they're not getting too excited.
Not yet.
What about social media?
On social media, there's a lot of optimism about DefenCath itself.
Okay.
But there are also concerns about competition and regulation.
Right. Those are always factors to consider.
They are. And if you look at the overall analyst ratings, they seem to suggest a cautious approach.
Interesting.
Even though the stock has performed well recently.
So how does CorMedix compare to some of the bigger players in the market?
Well, you've got companies like Baxter. They brought in about $11 billion in revenue in fiscal year 2024.
Wow.
And then there's Fresenius, which had revenue of around $8 billion.
So those are the giants in the dialysis market.
They dominate that space.
Yeah.
CorMedix is much more niche.
Okay.
They're focused on this specific area of catheter-related infections with DefenCath.
Right.
They don't have those diversified product lines that Baxter and Fresenius have.
So they're not competing head-to-head?
Not really. But even though Baxter and Fresenius might not have a product that's a direct competitor to DefenCath, they already have those strong relationships with hospitals.
I see what you mean.
And that could make it harder for CorMedix to gain market share.
That's a good point.
So investors need to think about things like the contracting processes.
Yeah.
And how DefenCath compares to existing solutions in terms of value.
Right, because it's not just about the product itself.
Exactly.
It's about how they're going to get it into the hands of patients.
Exactly.
So looking ahead,
yes,
CorMedix is planning to continue rolling out DefenCath in hospitals throughout early to mid-2025.
That'll be a key catalyst to watch.
It will, but there are also potential risks, regulatory changes that could affect reimbursement rates.
That's a big one.
And that could definitely impact sales growth.
For sure.
Based on the information we have, the overall outlook seems cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
CorMedix is expanding its reach.
Right. But they're also facing this competitive pricing environment.
It's a balancing act, for sure.
So what's the bottom line here?
Well, the current recommendation, based on all this information, is to hold.
So hold off on buying or selling.
Yeah, it's basically saying that while there are definitely some positive things going on with CorMedix, that volatility and those potential pricing challenges, they warrant some caution, before making any major investment decisions.
Got it. So to sum it all up, we have CorMedix, a company with a promising product in DefenCath.
Definitely.
And it's driving some pretty significant revenue growth.
Yeah. And they even had that profitable quarter.
They did. But the market's reaction to that profitability, that sudden drop in the stock price, really underscores the concerns about future pricing.
And the sustainability of those profits.
Exactly, especially with those high operating expenses.
It's a valid concern.
The technical analysis framework we discussed earlier can help you,
identify potential entry and exit points.
Based on price and volume movements.
Right. But the fundamentals really show us that there are both opportunities and risks here.
Absolutely. Investors need to weigh both sides carefully.
Exactly.
It's interesting to think about that disconnect between the positive earnings and the negative market reaction.
Right.
It makes you wonder what factors are most important to investors.
Yeah. Beyond just past performance.
Are they looking for sustainable growth? A dominant market position? Or maybe something else entirely?
Yeah, it's a great question for all of us to consider.
It is, and CorMedix is a perfect example of just how complex the market can be.
It really is. Well, I think we covered a lot of ground today.
We did.
And hopefully our listeners have a much clearer understanding of CorMedix now.
I hope so.
And the factors influencing its stock performance.
Yeah.
Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment.
Thanks, too.
If you found this information valuable.
We appreciate your support.
And you want us to explore other companies like this for you.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear from you.
So until next time.
Happy investing.
Happy investing, everyone.
Bye.